So why would I then right now go send people to go steal awards from Zahara? This is me bottling now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna connect it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, I was triggered. Now I'm even explaining myself. I didn't want to do this, but I have to anyway, because this is my platform. So I'd rather do it here, you know. So whoever quotes me, they'd rather quote the virtual Mkhukhu and put the videos out there.
Yeah.
This is the Hustler's Corner.
Hey, welcome to Virtual Mkhukhu City VM. Thank you very much for another exciting episode as usual. Click, 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 click. That sharp sign on the count of 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Click, 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 click. Thank you. Let's come this side and let's click that subscription button. Click. Guys, we have to grow. Click that button so you become a part of this family. And do not forget to switch on the notification bell so that you, they'll let you know when we're dropping brand new videos. I'm with my brother Penuel, and just to let you guys know, we drop episodes every Monday at 12 in the afternoon and every Friday at 12 in the afternoon. But starting from next week, our producers and our bosses behind that camera over there, they're saying, now we are going to be introducing 3 episodes. Basically, we're introducing the 3rd episode.
Cheers.
So from next week, we're going to be dropping 3 episodes a week. It's no longer 2. It's no longer Monday and Friday, but it's going to be Monday at 12, Wednesday at 12, Friday at 12. Monday, it's myself and Penuel. And then Wednesday, it doesn't matter. It can be whoever. Friday, it doesn't matter. It can be whoever. But definitely every Monday, it's just me and Penuel the Black Pen, Penuel the God Pen, Penuel Mlotshwa. Boy, always good to see you.
Yo, thank you so much. Thank you very much for the community for having me here. Penuel the Black Pen. I didn't think I'd be here for this long. I'm honored and I'm excited, and you guys are putting us to work, man. It's tiring. It's very tiring, you have no idea, but it's very, very fulfilling and satisfying. And the idea of recording, or releasing rather, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday is very exciting for me, because it means more education, more shifting of minds, and a greater nation out there. So I've got a platform, small, Penuel the Black Pen, Facebook, YouTube, etc. You've got a huge platform. DJ SBU, everyone's known you and loved you for a while. People kind of have an idea of who we are, you know. They know our biases just in life. We've invited people onto the platform. People have come to speak, and initially I would interrupt them. I listened to the squatters. The squatters said, Pen, please take a step back. We want to hear these people. I was like, sure. People now come here freely and they speak. We know some of the biggest politicians in this country. We know them. They are welcome. We've gone on camera to say, please come through and speak. Not to us, because we have some weird agenda, but to the people out there who love you so much. There's something they might learn about you. There's something that maybe some of us assume, like, hey, aren't you this and this? And the person can come and say, no, man, there's no such thing. This wasn't true. So now when we get bashed for creating a platform for you guys, and this is still a baby, we're still going to get like some of the biggest names, maybe not even in the country, on the continent and even globally, to come here. And when people are going to come and bash us trying to build, it breaks my heart, because it reminds me of how psychologically broken people out there are. And they're moshing, a very nice word that someone used, they're moshing it for our community, our loyal community that love us and that love what we're trying to do here. So I hope they see this and they stay away. Go to other whack places that you guys go to be miserable and negative. Don't come here, because we're here to build an amazing virtual platform and a great country for ourselves.
Do you know what I would say? I'd say maybe it doesn't matter. I think you are probably triggered. You know, I think you were triggered, and
I was.
With so much support and love, whether positive or negative, from our squatters out there.
Yeah.
You would just single out those 1, 2, 3. I don't know how many there are that you've seen that you think people think, or you think it's a generic feeling of our squatters out there. I don't think you're correct. I think you're probably triggered by those few comments that you might have. I don't know what those comments are, but I can relate to what you're going through. For instance, so this past week, visiting my clients, I went to Gqeberha for the first time since it's been Gqeberha. Shout out to Gqeberha and everybody that comes from Gqeberha. Been going to Gqeberha for many years, from back in my music industry days. Abo New Brighton.
Yeah, Motherwell.
Oh man, what a beautiful, beautiful province, Eastern Cape.
Warmer,
but anyway,
Summer Strand.
Yes.
Sure.
We used to even throw gigs there. We used to have Metro FM awards there. We used to have like those SABC shows and concerts there. Like Gqeberha used to be the place back in the day. Summer Strand, bruh. Like we used to shut it down by the beach there. Like the whole Joburg is down, the whole country. Yo, anyway. So I'm in Gqeberha visiting clients. Shout out to all of my clients. I really appreciate you guys growing our brand in Gqeberha and just getting it into your stores and also opening up new clients. You know, I'm always traveling all over the country growing this baby of mine.
Yeah.
Coming back in Ntambama, so it was a Khan and Trek. Flew there in the morning, 5:30 flights. Coming back in Ntambama, 6 o'clock flight. I'm at the airport already, Ngabuma 2-5.
Sure.
Chilling at the airport. I got triggered as I walk into the plane and I'm sitting in a seat before the plane takes off, before we switch off our phones.
Yeah.
I got triggered because I saw a message on social media, which is on Twitter, from somebody that I follow.
Yeah.
And the name of the account is Musa Kaula. There's a new generation of young people that are building their careers online, and that's what we advocate for. And I love that. I love that people are building themselves as alternative voices, as media platforms, as influencers, as it's a good thing. And the fact that I actually follow this person means I also follow this account, but I don't know that person in person, right? So I think I particularly did not agree with the way they wrote the tweet about the alleged accusations of me swindling Zahara of her money, number one. Number two, about me apparently sending people to go steal Zahara's awards.
Jeez.
It's like, I've got so many awards, Joe, like I can play chess with them. Like,
come on.
It's like, why would I go steal awards?
Sure.
As a matter of fact, some awards as Zahara in front of you guys on stage. I'd win awards and I would gladly give it to Zahara because I would feel, as much as I've remixed this song, it's my song, but it's your song. The original is yours and you sang on it. I'd rather give you this award. That's what I've done, you know? So why would I then right now go send people to go steal awards from Zahara? This is me bottling now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna connect it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, I was triggered. Now I'm even explaining myself. I didn't want to do this, but I have to anyway, because this is my platform. So I'd rather do it here, you know. So whoever quotes me, they'd rather quote the virtual Mkhukhu and put the videos out there.
Yeah.
But Ubulelwa is my sister. I love her. That's why I was a part of her career, to help her grow and succeed. And just like I did with Umganoa Muspiu and Pamile, may so rest in peace, Brown Dash. I currently work with his son, Lindash, who works with Robot Boy, who's also my other youngster whom I've been mentoring. A lot of the videos of you guys seeing me selling in the streets over the past couple of years, behind that camera, the person who was serving and learning from me and shooting all of those videos was Robot Boy.
Come on.
He was being mentored. He was my youngster. Now he works with Lindash. They work together. Lindash is Robot Boy's DJ. Lindash is Brown Dash's son. Robot Boy is Mr. Mzakimbuli's son. But Robot Boy built his own career. And a lot of people know, they're only getting surprised now to know, oh, and he's Mzakimbuli's son. But I'm just saying that's the energy I have. And that's the energy I've always had with everybody I've ever worked with. I don't have the heart to want to take from anybody that I work with. I've got the heart to want to give and pour. People that I've worked with in the past will tell you the type of person I am if you get to be close to me. I don't even operate like I'm some DJ smooth. I'm just a normal guy who just loves laughing, who just loves empowering other people, who just loves shining my light onto other people. And I think people also forget that when we started working with one of the most greatest vocalists and talented musicians, not even female musicians of all time in this country, musicians of all time in this country, which is Bulelwa, which is Zahara. I've just done nothing but to help people succeed. I've never taken from anybody. All I've done was to help everybody succeed. I've helped some people become millionaires. I've helped some people become successful. What they do in their own right with their lives in future outside of me, when they're no longer working with me, it's no longer my baby. But everybody knows and God knows what I've done with my life. And for somebody to write a tweet and say, I've sent people to go steal awards, I think at that particular time, I'm usually never triggered by things on social media. But at the spur of the moment, we have Zunogyanya. But then, I usually let things calm down and then I get calm. Even if you're so it's fine. I'm one of those people. But then, that experience, I got triggered. And when I got triggered, I responded.
Sure.
And then I was like, if you don't delete this message, I'm going to have to take some sort of action
Sure.
against you.
Legal action.
Legal action against you. Jumping into a flight from PE, I don't know, what, an hour and a half or so,
Yeah.
or an hour 15 minutes to get
Yeah.
to Joburg, thinking when I land, whether will delete it or I'll delete it, it's like, ah. But I was just trying to say in no many words, there's repercussions for the things that we write on the internet.
Yeah.
You don't just write things. And I think a lot of people think that you'll just easily get away with stuff by just saying allegedly.
Yes.
And then from there you write any other thing that you want to write that defames people. Is not fair.
Yes.
Because some of us, we will take action. I don't want to destroy a career of a young person who's seen Twitter as a platform to grow their careers. I don't want to send lawyers to that person because I can afford to. I don't want to put that person in a position where they have to pay, whether it's $100 that they can afford every month for the rest of their lives because I sued them.
Yes.
But you need to remember, young people are also pumped by their followers.
Yes.
Because
That's
people
true.
want to see a fight. People
That's
want to
true.
see what we are trying. But the same mind in me as I land in Joburg later, I'm like, it's not even worth it, you know?
Sure.
That young person is like me 20 years ago, 25 years ago, trying to come up, whatever I did, trying to come up. And I'm thinking, mhlambe angekabone manje, uzobona isikhathi nasihamba ukuthi some things I could have done differently, some things I could have done better. And I don't want to have any enemies. I'm on social media to promote positivity, to promote what I do, to help out as many businesses as I can, small businesses. I retweet their posts and all of that type of stuff. That's what I'm there for. I'm not there to go threaten people, to sue people. I'm not that type of person, as you would know.
Sure.
I
I want to go dark, man. I don't know if you allow
go
me.
in, bro.
So the reason I intentionally started by saying I want to thank all our positive contributors is because it's fundamentally important that the positive guys, our positive squatters, they must know it every single time that we're always thinking about you. We're never thinking about negative people. We're always thinking about you who add to our community. But it does happen, yes, that you get triggered. And we do have to highlight because we do notice it. And the reason I highlight is because people need to know that there's something wrong with what they're doing. It's almost a form of rehabilitation to what you were doing with what happened with you. The hope is that that action, if it's not going to be for the gentleman who posted, it's going to be for some of his followers who maybe wanted to post the same thing or say the same thing, to get a wake-up call of there's something wrong psychologically with you and you've got a loser mindset. And we want to help you get out of being a loser and stop whining and complaining your whole life because you'll never get anywhere. We've got to, geez, the people, I can only imagine the people you've met. I'm thinking of the people that I've met in my life that have had a positive contribution. DJ Smoop being one of them. It's so amazing to then have to deal with like a nobody who's just trying to destroy you. And some of us realize that that person is speaking from pain or from misinformation. And that's why we're trying to explain that there's something wrong with you. Fix it. If you feel we've got a bias, instead of bashing us, help us. One of the things I've appreciated about especially rich white people, if you go on social media and you write some stuff about a rich white person, you're rubbish, you stole our land, a lot of them send people out there to bring you closer. Because in their head, they're like, no, man, clearly he's misinformed. And if you have a reach, they want to bring you closer. They bring you on a platform like a virtual Mkhukhu. They're like, let's have a conversation. So what happened with Zahara, blah, blah, blah. So that we can squash this thing and so that you can be informed and so that you can now go out there and inform your followers. Guys, I was actually wrong. This is actually what happened. That's what they do. They don't do this thing of, I don't want to use examples, but let's say someone is poking at you. Smooth, did you hear what that Lighty said about you? And you're like, hey, fuck that Lighty. They don't shut you off. They want to bring you closer because they think there's misinformation. I've been close to you for a while now. And I remember I'm one of the people that raised the question about Zahara. And you've answered this here. I've seen you've answered it on other platforms. We've said at some point we're going to try and get her here to come and speak if she's willing to. This is what I meant by going dark. So Steve Jobs has never donated $1 to charity. I'd like to think Elon Musk might potentially be someone along the same line. Elon Musk now has recently bought Twitter. Huge. free speech advocate, whatever. $44 billion. Elon Musk was asked by his alma mater, Pretoria boys, to come and speak at the school and to be associated. He sent them 1 million rand and he told them, please don't ever contact me again. I didn't have a good experience at that school. I was bullied. You guys were very much about sports, and if you weren't a sports person, you were shunned. The guy left South Africa, I think when he was 17, 18, 19. I think he was at Tux for a short while, then he left. And he's built everything himself. Not South African government tenders, not some South African business. He went to build himself that side. He's self-made American. That side. It gets to a point. I've given out loans to people out of the goodness of my heart. I've met taxi owners who are now evil men. It gets to a point where society turns you into a monster. And then they pretend to act shocked when you become a fucking asshole monster to them. And at some point, people have to take accountability for building children like Adolf Hitler. For building some of the people you call evil out there that started off as good people. And when they kept giving and you kept sucking from them, and you kept trying and you kept empowering, you speak about Robot Boy, and you're speaking about, let's say you speak about me, and you speak about a Zahara, and you speak about a Brown Dash, and you're like, how much more must I do for you? How much more before I break? And then I say, actually, fuck all of you. I'm gonna make money. If you ask me, I'm gonna tell you I'm a cold capitalist, and I'm gonna exploit you for all you have, because clearly that's what you guys want from me. How long must I keep explaining myself? It even gets upsetting, and I think this is why I wanted to go dark. When you're saying, I gave this person an award which was mine. It gets to a point where it's like, stop. Stop doing it. Stop giving what's not theirs. Stop doing charity. Stop helping beyond a certain point. Because the wealthiest people in this country, when they do charity, it's for PR and it's for tax breaks. But those people get celebrated. The same people that are bashing us worship those people. Those people have never gone on a platform and apologized or explained how I became a billionaire in this country, in whatever sector I'm in. They've never explained how they related to certain powerful people. But they worshipped. Clearly we're the idiots that take the time out to try and explain because we care. And it seems like caring. Steve Jobs said he'll never donate to charity because he pays tax and because he creates jobs. If I wanted to become a charity, if I wanted to become a philanthropist, I would have gone into charity. I'm here into building products. If you guys are not happy with my products, if you're not happy with my employees, if you're not happy that I'm paying your tax, go somewhere else. I'm not here for that. So it gets very upsetting for me. And yes, we do get triggered. And siyapodla. After that, we can smile again and be happy. But it's important for people to understand the psychology behind some of these things, because people create monsters. And some of the really, really good people out there who give us nothing but love, who are extending a hand and saying, let's build, they end up losing out because of negative people out there. And we just need to stop. Guys, we're trying to help you, man. And if your mindset is of a loser, I'm sorry. Yes, you want to blame apartheid and the government and whatever. We understand. You've got DJ SBU here. He didn't come from a rich family, for example. He's not linked to these big people. He was a boy. He said it now. A boy like I was a boy who was like, you know what? I can blame people my whole life. And I can bash people my whole life. Or I can be like, let me find like really cool, positive people who are creating nice stuff. And let me see if I can add value. And then the world will become a better place. And that's what the virtual Mkhukhu is about.
That is so dope what you've just said. It's like, it takes me back to how the government system of grants is not the one that I am for.
Yeah.
You know, I think that'll be a topic for another day. In your boarding right now, you mentioned Elon Musk. Now let's go there.
Jeez.
He's just dropped 44p, bruh.
Let me speak about Elon a little bit. I'm a huge fan of Elon Musk. I'm a huge critic of Elon Musk. Let me start with the criticism. Let me start with the bashing. Yeah. Elon Musk never invented the electric car, even though it may seem like it, because the Americans are amazing at branding. Elon Musk doesn't sell the most electric cars in the world. There's a Chinese company that sells the most electric cars in the world. You can go research that. Obviously, we eat Americans, so, you know, we believe they invent everything. Elon Musk did not create the company Tesla. He joined it after the founders had actually set it, and he saw it as a great idea he jumped on board, you know, and they made him CEO. Elon Musk is a young guy, and he's kept his naivety, he's kept his foolishness, as Steve Jobs says, we must remain foolish. And he's just a guy like you and I who wanted to change the world. And he's met up with like some of the coolest people on the planet, and they've built great companies. PayPal, SpaceX, which is sending rockets into space and trying to get people to Mars and live multi-planetary. And then he came onto a platform named Twitter, which was, I think it was founded by Jack Dorsey, who's left it now. Jack Dorsey is a guy I admire as well. He's a minimalist. He fasts incredibly. He's got a great mind. And Elon Musk believes in free speech. And he believes in letting people try stuff. And he believes in the ethos of inventors back in the day of, let's be comfortable to fail. Elon Musk says, I need to make 1,000 mistakes so that the next generation doesn't have to start by making those mistakes. They'll be like, oh, Elon made 1,000 mistakes. He made 5 wins. So we're going to build on these and then not have to. That was Thomas Edison. 1,000 failed experiments and then the light bulb. He's a great guy. He's a cult personality now. He's got a company called The Boring Company, which makes flamethrowers, even though it's not really a flamethrower. It sells caps. And he, like Kanye West, like Steve Jobs, who was an orphan, by the way, like a DJ SBU from Etimbisa Ikasi, like a Trevor Noah who had a white dad and a black old lady from, I think, Soweto. Like a DJ Black Coffee, like a Nelson Mandela who was a herds boy. These are just guys, man, who are just like, look, I'm a guy. I am willing to put in some work. I have great ideas and I think I can make the world better. And he's dropped $44 billion. He's bought Twitter. It took a long time and it took a huge pushback from the Twitter board, of which it came out through him that these guys didn't own much shares in Twitter. But here they are fighting, and they're not fighting on behalf of the shareholder. And one of the things I've said on one of my videos is Elon Musk, like Jacob Zuma, is teaching us the game indirectly. Because he didn't tell us, guys, this is what's happening at Twitter, the board, nah. He said, look, I want to buy Twitter and this is what's happening. And then he let everyone else fight. And in the fighting, they exposed themselves. That they're not about free speech. They claim to be liberals and left-wing, but they're not comfortable with truth. Why? Why do you guys want to be ruled by algorithms that are set by certain people? You know what I mean? So I've been quite excited. I've got my criticisms of him. I do believe he's a through and through capitalist. I saw that he was bashing Bitcoin before he started investing in cryptocurrencies. Now he's a crypto fan. I saw that he was bashing the COVID vaccine at some point. And then he started investing in the manufacturing of vaccines, I believe. I stand to be corrected. So he is a capitalist. But again, he's a capitalist. He's making money. But in his journey and in his honesty and in his cracking jokes and poking fun at the president and whatever, we're learning so much. We're also learning that no matter how rich you are, you can have a voice and it doesn't have to be the cool voice. He can, he's gone on Joe Rogan, smoked weed on the Joe Rogan Experience. They've poked fun at a guy like Bill Gates. You know, yeah, I'll stop there, man. But I'm a huge fan, and I think there's a lot to learn from people like Elon. We'll use him, but there are many people like him. I gave examples of him.
I think his intentions will also get tested. That's what a lot of people are saying. Will he get Trump back on Twitter if he really is for free speech?
Yeah.
You know, and will he And by the way, I heard that he's also fully privatizing it. He's fully privatizing it, and so that he fully runs it.
Yeah.
What I would like to know is, will he also work on, what is the opposite of manipulation? But anyway, dismantling the way in which the algorithms would, for example, this is just an interview that I've seen on Joe Rogan. I think it was last night or something.
Yeah.
Was speaking to some gentleman about Elon Musk buying Twitter, where it says, for instance, I forgot this gentleman's name. It says, for instance, what's happening in Ukraine? we are made to believe by these social media platforms when we see them, we are fed images of making Ukraine to look like blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on. I don't want to go deeper into that. Will Elon Musk be fair enough to dismantle those algorithms and make them fair? And also make them such that people who want to say whatever they want to say, they will not get banned anymore. Because we do know what has happened over the past few years, especially since COVID-19 lockdowns have been in effect, about certain words that trigger you either getting banned or getting your account suspended, or, do you know what I mean? Will he be fixing some of those types of problems? They were saying that's when his intentions for buying Twitter will get tested. What is your take?
Last year, 4 or 5 times last year, I got banned on Facebook for 30 days.
You're still banned even now?
I'm currently banned now until the 1st of May. 1st of May, free me, Facebook.
Oh, it is the 1st of May. What's the date today? It's a Monday. 1st of May is tomorrow. What is it?
It's today.
Oh, it was yesterday.
Yesterday.
Oh,
Okay,
so it's the
okay.
1st of May today.
1st of May, free me, Facebook.
So you back on Facebook.
Free me, Facebook.
Welcome back. But you know what I did? I made sure while you were absent, I kept on tagging your name every time
Thank
I post
you.
our videos.
Thank you.
So that people keep clicking.
Don't silence me. Don't silence me. Part of my bans last year were because I made videos about COVID-19. One of the videos was something as silly as me speaking about Nicki Minaj, who had spoken about someone who was questioning the effects of the vaccine. I wasn't even speaking about it. I was just saying I heard Nicki Minaj say. She was banned. I got banned for that. One of my videos on YouTube was removed. One of the things I've had to learn was, this is not my mom's house. YouTube is not my mom's house. Facebook is not my mom's house. They have their own set of rules. The sad thing is, number one, they claim to stand for free speech, which it's true they don't. Number two, they do have rules. I understand, but they don't teach their rules that well. What is incitement to violence? If I say, hey, Sbuda, and then it picks up, says, yeah, but you said you're going to slap him. I'm like, no, I didn't. How do you pick that up, you know? So he definitely will be tested. My feel is America is a very, very strong corporation. And Mark Zuckerberg himself many times has been called to book for what he's done. But Mark Zuckerberg walks 10 steps forward, he gets whacked, and then he takes 2 steps back. He doesn't take 10 steps back. So he will operate within a certain framework. I don't think it will be as liberal as we believe. I don't think it will paint the enemies of America in a good light. I think there's just going to be a smolanyana change in allowing certain people to have an alternative voice. They won't be that big, but at least there will be an unbanning of certain accounts. Certain words will be removed. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Bill Gates, I forgot to mention this. Bill Gates extended a hand to Elon Musk recently. I don't know if it was to have a conversation. Elon Musk is a swine. Elon Musk was like, yeah, but you've taken out, I think it's a $500 million short against Tesla.
Against Tesla, yeah.
So a short means that his bet money that Tesla will fail or it will have a negative growth. And he's like, for as long as that's in effect, I'm not going to work with you, because that means you're waiting to profit from my downfall. There's nothing I'm going to discuss with you.
Yeah.
You're a hater of me, you know what I mean? So I think that was pretty cool because, again, like I said, just like Ubabum Sholo's, Elon's playing a lot of the stuff. We don't know what happens in the back. But a lot of the stuff he's doing in front of people. And we can see it.
Do you know anything? You've just mentioned something interesting. You're saying we don't know what's happening in the back. Do you know anything about a so-called shadow government, the deep state?
Jeez, I've heard of deep state. I've heard of shadow government. Let me say this without speaking to the conspiracy theory. South Africans, the normal South African believes that, assuming South Africa is a company, they believe that our government is the board of directors. But that's not true. Our government is the executive committee of this company. So a company has an executive committee with the CEO. Our CEO is Cyril Ramaphosa. But our government is not the board of directors. The board of directors are the people that actually own the biggest chunks of the economy. They are the people that decide which money gets funneled to which political parties in this country. We had a mate of mine now, Rob Hersoff, luckily, speak out about how he's funded a Musi Maimane, speak out about how he's funded a Herman Mashaba. So he's spoken about it. Other people don't speak that much. We've now got a bill that showed us Patrice gave money to the EFF. You know, we don't know historically who's given money to who. Those are the people that pull the strings of our political leaders. And it only holds. I mean, another person who's posted on Twitter, Tito Mboweni, the ex-finance minister, he's posted himself having lunch with the Van Zyl family, which owns ZZ2, huge agricultural company in South Africa that own thousands of hectares of land. He put a picture and he said, because Tito Mboweni is a gaslighter, he said, yeah, I want to upset those people. He was being given an honorary doctorate by, at the time, I think he was the vice chancellor or the chancellor of Stellenbosch University, Johan Rupert. So they're showing us these are our mates. When our leadership, these are just the execs. They can be removed at any time. So with that backdrop, the idea of a shadow government, it's not necessarily a shadow government, I'd like to call it a board of directors. In any country you go in the world, a Barack Obama, a Bill Clinton, even guys like Xi Jinping and the like, these guys answer to the biggest holders of economies in their country. And those guys generally at some point feed up to the World Economic Forum, which is where Nelson Mandela. So Abo Cyril bayahamba with the rest of the other presidents, bayohlangana bonke at the United Nations, Ketwe Ikulu. Lezo Ikulu have got institutions like the World Health Organization, the WHO, who dictate things like you must lock down your country. This is the vaccine that must be used. This is what must happen. They dictate. And the guys who run the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, the World Bank, Nakona, the faces you see, those are just CEOs and execs. There are people at the back. You might be surprised. You might think the people at the back is Elon Musk, it's Bill Gates, it's Jeff Bezos. It might not. Those guys might also be fronts because they have investors that they have to play to.
And what I wanted to ask you was, do you think Elon Musk is part of the cabal? Somebody said to me, oh, he's a billionaire, what do you expect? But what you've just said about Bill Gates as well, a little bit earlier, about Bill Gates and Elon Musk's whatever tension that is happening in between there. Has this sale been influenced by his funders and backers to maybe his advantage for some protection somehow, maybe because the deep state is or will be against Elon Musk, or is even he part of the deep state, for lack of a better word?
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I love studying conspiracy theories.
Same here.
I've got a theory. So I'll use Rob as one of my mates. Rob owns an investment company. He's called a billionaire in articles. And I've asked questions like, how do you know Rob is a billionaire? No, but this guy, his grandfather owned Anglo Val. I'm like, that's fine. How do you know that he's a billionaire? No, but no one can answer me clearly. Even Andile Mlotshwa, who was here, who was like, yeah, your friend Rob. I'm like, I want us to speak about Rob. And at some point, I'm going to have a conversation with Rob, which I'm going to give for public consumption, to ask these questions.
He's going to sit here before the end of the year.
Come on.
Mr. Herzog, we're looking forward to seeing you sit here, sure.
His investment company has got people that have put money there. Who are those people? Because how you make money from an investment company is commission for the work you've done. Elon Musk has had investors. He doesn't necessarily have cash money. And a lot of these billionaires, they don't earn salaries. They don't live on cash. They live on credit. They know how they maneuver it to avoid tax and those type of things. How do you know that Bill Gates is not a front? He's not the Cyril Ramaphosa of certain people in the back that you'll never know about. Because these people own the biggest weapons manufacturing companies. Because these guys actually control the oil. These guys actually dictate which movies Hollywood gets to release and not. These guys get to decide what's a war and what's not. They call the people to the table, and if they don't want, they get them killed. And they make it seem like whatever. At some point in my research of the world and how the world works, I stumbled upon a great Jewish guy named Mark Rich. Mark Rich was a commodities trader, and he created Rich & Co. From him, 3 big companies that I normally mention: Trafigura, Vitol, Glencore. We know Glencore in this country. Ivan Glossenberg was the ex-CEO. You've mentioned this company, which we have to speak about at some point, or 2 companies rather, BlackRock
And Vanguard.
Vanguard. They have their CEOs, and you might think, oh, these are the guys that run the world. They look after people's money. Whose money are they looking after? Who gets to decide on policies? So Elon Musk can't do what he does unless his investors are happy. Joe Rogan can't say whatever he wants on the Joe Rogan Experience unless certain people are happy. The same people that protected him on Spotify, when they will say, cancel him, he's misleading people. And they were like, no, don't. Who are those people that are protecting him? And I hate the word Indian. West Asian, the India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka guy named Chamath Palihapitiya, in an interview at Stanford, said there are a few men that run this world. I think he said 100, 150. And he's like, all of them have got a world view. They have a view, they have an idea. They look at the world like a Monopoly board game or chess. And they're like, oh, you know, this is actually what should happen in the world. And they pump their money and their resources, and they send their friends, whether it's a feminism agenda, whether it's Black Lives Matter, whether it's let's have a lockdown. They dictate to the world, through the institutions I spoke about, in what direction the world is going to move. And he said, all of us who have now gotten a chance to see the other side, because he says there's a curtain, and he's seen it because he's a dollar billionaire now. He's seen the other side. He's like, get onto the other side, be very, very competent and add value. And then once you get there, begin implementing your worldview, what you think the world should be like. And that's the best thing you can do. And at the time, it was very exciting for me hearing him say this. But I realized he was speaking globally. And I was thinking, you know, this can be done at home, in a community. You can create a community. We live in a South Africa where Muslims, for example, don't entertain homosexuality. Even though this country is pro-homosexuality, the Muslims say, in my community, no. We have got spaces where you come in with LGBTQI, you come in with feminism. They say, that's nice, we understand it's the law of the country, but not here. You can influence your worldview on your own children, on your own community, and dictate how they move and become great. That's why white Afrikaans people in this country are rich. That's why Jews in this country are rich. That's why certain Muslim families in this country are rich, because they have their own way of moving. So you're very right that some of these guys might be puppets, might be fronts, in my opinion at least. The bigger thing for me is, what is your worldview, and how are you using your influence, your platforms, your resources, your friends to dictate and enforce your worldview in the spaces that you occupy?
Very interesting. Moving from Elon Musk to the next topic. Parliament has just passed the informal trade policy. I don't know if you are aware, guys out there. I'm an entrepreneur. I interact with informal traders. The reason why my business has been able to survive up until where it is today, I'm sure you know, some of you guys bump into the guys that sell in street lights, corners, robots, etc. What they would be called informal traders, right? Or what they would call the informal trade. For me, I'm where I am today because of informal trading. I'm also an informal trader myself, as I have been slowly graduating myself or growing my company or scaling up into corporatizing it and becoming big business one day. But I come from the informal sector, as they would call it. So the new bill or the new policy that's just been passed by Parliament a few days ago, the informal trade policy, maybe we can start unpacking what the informal trade policy is, if you are aware of it, and what does it mean for the future of informal traders in the country.
Yo, you're putting me on the spot. So I hope you'll unpack. I just read recently, and I don't know if it was spurred, because it's been sitting for a while. I don't know if it was spurred by the unrest with foreigners and all these things, but my understanding from the little bit I read was, the city, I think it might be the city of Joburg, if not other cities around the country. They're going to be enforcing bylaws. So we have national laws, we have bylaws that are specific to a city that may not apply somewhere else. They want to enforce that if you are an informal trader, you need to be licensed. And in order to be licensed, you need to be a South African citizen, or you need to have a permit to operate a business here, and then some other requirements, and you're going to have to renew this license every single year. I understand the beauty of wanting to regulate certain spaces, especially where there are illegal people that are not meant to be there. I'm not just foreigners, but illegal people that are selling things that are maybe not good for consumption or whatever the case may be. My fear, knowing our government, knowing our local politicians, knowing our police, my fear is that this will probably not be implemented properly, or it won't be implemented at all. Course, you're a policy, but it's not really being enforced, or it's just going to open up a new avenue for more bribes for people that are not meant to be on the street selling to go and sell.
Yeah, because I'm interested to go see, or I'm interested to know, how is it going to affect the ordinary informal trader?
Yeah.
I'm deep in that informal trade, and millions of my cans are sold every month in that trade.
Sure.
So somebody like me has got a very well vested interest in knowing what is this bill going to do. So I've also just stumbled upon it. I didn't know about the informal trade policy being passed just recently. I've just heard, and I read up a little bit about it. But now I'm going to give myself some more time to go read up even more on it so that I can understand it.
Yeah.
But anybody out there, because this is an educational platform and it's been built on the hustle, us as hustlers. I know a lot of you guys out there as well are in the informal trading space. So that's why I'm mentioning it, so that we can all have some sort of a homework to go and check it out. Maybe let's move on to the next topic.
Sure.
But that's the homework. Basically, I know we didn't unpack it. We didn't dwell into the informal trade policy, but it's important for us to mention it. But it's also been passed. So some of you guys who might have missed it, you get a bit of some time to go read up on it.
I just want to add, it is important, especially in the conversations we've been having with our guests here. It's important that we become more and more politically active, more and more politically literate. And it starts with small things like this. We've spoken about the National Health Act. 24th of April was the last day of submission because they wanted to move the Disaster Management Act regulations and make them permanent in the National Health Act, and how ordinary citizens could comment on that. So this is going to be another one, because as you're saying, it affects your business directly and the businesses of so many of us and our old ladies, etc. So we can speak about it many times, but for me, it's about us just becoming more and more politically literate. And then once we fully understand this policy, hopefully we'll understand other similar policies. And then how do we get involved in shaping policies like this and making sure that they work to serve us, the citizens of this country?
And we are aware. Because I think, I remember I just used to see whatever I see. Hey, Mandela, and people are running in the streets, I join or whatever.
Sure.
You know, you're a kid, you don't understand politics. And then I became a teenager and I was just not interested in politics at all. Now that I'm an adult, whether I am interested in politics or I am not, politics affects me, as I've just made you an example about being affected directly about a new bill that's just been passed in Parliament. Will it be good for people that participate in the value chain or the ecosystem of businesses like mine, like yours, as well as hustlers out there? Will it affect us positively or negatively? So it's within our best interest to know. I'll make you another example as well. The war in Russia and Ukraine.
Yes.
Before, I mean, when I saw Kula, you know, the weapons of mass destruction, Iraqi, Afghanistan, and just those wars, and we used to just see it on CNN in the news, 9/11, and do you know what I mean? So you used to just see these things from a distance. You used to just hear elders talk, but now you get older, you get affected directly.
Yes.
When the war between Ukraine and Russia happened a few months ago, the whole world was talking about it. Even here at home, we also spoke about it. But it also affected me, or it affects me directly.
Sure.
I'll tell you again how. I didn't know that it'll have effect on aluminium. These cans are made of aluminium. We had just had a price increase in January for our clients. And every time when you're a product that is competing in the marketplace and you've got a price increase because you have to, based on the value chain of your business, and it affects you somehow, because trade, they don't like prices going up, and your product, you have to explain, you have to make your clients understand why the price has to go up. Now you can't go up in January and then you come back in February again with another price increase. But then this one affects the whole industry, because all your favorite energy drinks, by the way, not only energy drinks, even just carbonated drinks, any drink that comes, or any product that comes in an aluminium, the prices have gone up because of the war between Russia and Ukraine. So these things affect us directly. It goes back to your point of saying we have to be interested in politics.
Yes.
So I can sit back and just say, I'm making money, I don't care about politics, but I have to care. I have to want to know, because I have to know it affects me directly.
Ukraine was the last country on my mind. I just want to speak about Ukraine. I didn't know how fundamentally important Ukraine is to the food of Europe and the rest of the world. If people get a chance, go look up the agricultural exports of Ukraine. Wheat, sunflower, for example, along with aluminium. I didn't know that Ukraine, President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, sat on a big energy company's board there. These things are coming out now, and it comes with political literacy.
Did he sit there with his laptop like me? I'm kidding, let it go.
No, let's let it go. Some will get it, some will get it.
It's okay, sure.
You know, now that you're mentioning it, one of the thoughts around Operation Tutula and getting rid of foreign spaza shops, emakasi, one of the talks was, okay, get rid of Pakistanis, Somalians, Ethiopians, it's fine. Who are you going to replace them with? Because clearly black South Africans don't own a lot of spaza shops. And that's where the conversation came, Uti. Maybe there's a chance that your ShopRite, your Pick and Pays, because they're pushing containers, emakas, or you save, they might be the ones behind some of these pushes, because they're not doing it for the benefit of black South Africans, they're doing it for themselves. And now I'm thinking with something like the informal traders policy, because I saw this during the lockdown, the hard lockdown in South Africa. There was a time when Mama Baning had to queue outside, I don't know if it was the legislature hall in the CBD, because they needed permits to sell and they didn't have them. Meanwhile, the big companies, the big retailers were operating. So now there's a concern, look, it's fine, maybe it's I'm a foreigner, but you might find that your mom and your dad, South Africans, might also not. And the question will be, how much will the license cost? Who is it going to actually hit? And you'll find the big retailers will be laughing, because this might actually play into their hands at the expense of black South African informal traders that need this bit of money. We were celebrating in Tengeko. So part of the political literacy is finding out, okay, we hear what this thing is for, we hear what it's meant to do, but what are the potential negative impacts it will have on normal citizens as well? And I think that's fundamentally important for us to consider.
I think this has been an awesome episode.
Yeah.
I'd like to go on. You know, we can go on the whole day, but I also don't want to make our people angry again and do a 30-minute episode. I'm sure we're over, what, like 45 minutes?
Jeez!
Hour? I think now we can wrap it up. I think there's more things to always talk about, but I appreciate you, my brother. That's great. I think we can, you know, hold it there for today. It's a holiday, man. I want to go. I want to go be with my daughter. You know.
The holiday was yesterday, actually, the 1st of May.
But today, oh yeah.
Sure.
Maybe before we go, let's unpack Workers' Day. What does that mean for you or to you?
First and foremost, the 1st of May is when my second-born son, Uzulu Khosi Mlotshwa, was born in 2013. I've had huge issues struggling to gain access to him, and I'm still fighting. Very sad, while we're fighting the whole world that we have to fight to raise our kids. Workers' Day, I won't speak about the history of it, but I will say that, and I know Americans are big on this, from my side, I want to appreciate each and every single person out there who works, not necessarily who has a job, but who works. If you wake up every morning, you clean your house, you make sure that your neighborhood is clean, and then if you have a job that is adding value, you're planting produce somewhere, you wake up in the morning, ukibeli stimela, ukibeli bus, ukibela matexa u4, ukuya espanini, ushayisa ebusuku, ingane zakho uyiboni, usebenza ngama weekend on public holidays. Guys, you are the people that make this country work and this country tick. We've only got 3 million employees in this country that pay tax. Meanwhile, we've got close to 30 million grant recipients. You guys are the backbone of this country. You guys make this country work. And for me, the 1st of May, outside of the history of where this day comes from, it's to celebrate you. Even if you're not resting because people have to work even on Workers' Day, take some time out and just pat yourself on the back and be like, for the fact that I work hard, for the fact that I add value, for the fact that it adds value to the beauty of this country. Workers' Day means that to me, and I love each and every one of you, and don't ever feel bad for being in love with hard work.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We'll see you again next week. And remember, starting from next week, we're dropping 3 episodes every week. That's going to take us all the way to after winter, when we start getting ready for 5 episodes a week. So our episodes are now, starting from next week, going to be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. What time? 12 o'clock midday. And when I'm saying it loudly, I'm not saying it to you guys. I'm saying it to those people that are behind the camera there. 12 o'clock midday. We love you guys.
This is the Hustlers Corner.